Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, I finally watched the new Fantastic Four movie, and I can finally say something about one of those movies that I have never been able to say, and it might shock you. It might shock you. Hold up. It's fantastic.
Say that again?
All right, my bad. I'm gonna try to keep that word at a minimum this whole video. I'm sorry, I had to get it out. But the Fantastic Four, First Steps. Should you go watch this movie? Yes, you should, 100%. This movie was great. I won't say what everybody else has been saying about it, saying it's one of the best MCU movies that have ever come out. I've seen Winter Soldier, so I can't say that with a clear conscience. But regarding the ones that have recently released, yes, it's one of the best by far. Now, first things first, we're not gonna talk about spoilers. We're just gonna talk about stuff that I liked about the movie and stuff that I didn't like. Wasn't a whole lot of stuff that I didn't like. But that CGI baby,
we're gonna get to that CGI baby.
But if you've already seen the movie, yo, leave a like, comment, and let me know what you think about the movie. If you like it, if you dislike it, if you hate Sue. Why would you hate Sue? But first things first, one of my favorite things about the movie was the setting. Yo, New York in the 60s, but with the futuristic feel. Oh my God, it was beautiful. It looked great. It low-key reminded me of the Jetsons. I don't know why, because the Jetsons wasn't set in like a city in the 60s, but from the Baxter building, how it looked on the inside, it just really gave me Jetsons vibes. And I feel like if you've seen the Jetsons, you kind of get what I'm saying. Like some of those rooms that they had in there really just had that feel to it, and I really liked it. That's probably one of the best settings that I've seen in an MCU movie. Very unique. And then the whole community just loving the Fantastic Four because they're celebrities, they're the first family. It was cool to see kids love the Thing and not running away from him because they're terrified of him because he looks disgusting. Sorry, I didn't have to say all that. My bad, Richie. It was also cool seeing people wanting to get them on talk shows because they're all anybody wants to talk about. Also, the main theme that I picked up from this while watching it is to protect your family at all costs. Now, if you've seen the trailers, you know what the plot of the movie is. If you haven't, then I'm sorry, leave the video if you don't want to see the plot. Yeah, leave me a like first though, I'd appreciate it. But basically, Galactus is going to eat the Earth that the Fantastic Four reside on, Earth 828, and the Fantastic Four go to try to negotiate with him, but he's like, actually, if you don't want me to eat y'all planet, give me your baby, because Sue's pregnant, and their baby is going to have these crazy powers that are overpowered. And he's like, actually, I want your baby. And obviously, they like,
you ain't getting our baby.
When I say the theme was protect your family, the whole family aspect within the Fantastic Four is definitely by far the best part of the movie. It didn't have that asshole feel between the Thing and Johnny like it did in the Chris Evans and Jessica Alba movies. They felt like brothers. They made fun at each other, but it was more in a loving way instead of malicious like the other movies, which I actually didn't like about the other movies. It was funny, but yo, Johnny, he was wilding sometimes. He was saying some crazy stuff to the Thing.
How about two guys, a girl, and the thing that nobody wanted?
Hey, we both know that you could take it.
How do you guys,
That's none of your business.
Okay, all right.
But everything with those characters, you could just feel the love between them. Like the Thing being able to predict that Sue was pregnant just because he sees Reed acting like an idiot and her acting all awkward and stuff. Sue and Reed's relationship was cool. It felt real. Johnny and Sue's sibling dynamic was there too. Everything with the whole first family, best parts of the movie in my opinion. I loved it. You definitely felt like these people would go crazy lengths to protect each other. Even when it came to protecting the baby, there was no point in time where Johnny and the Thing were like, hey, maybe y'all should think about offing the baby. Like, not offing the baby, but like giving him to Galactus. They were all like on the same mindset without even talking about it. Like, hey, this baby, we're gonna find another way. Even when it came to protecting him from what everybody was saying in the world about, hey, maybe you guys should give up your baby, which was, first of all, why would Reed say anything to everybody? I mean, obviously he's smart to a fault. Like he's never been smart with people. Bro, you did not have to tell the whole world that he asked for your baby and y'all said no, because now they're like, hey,
fuck that baby.
Even when it came to the outside world, outside of the Baxter building, bro, you could tell that they just loved everybody and they wanted to protect everybody like they were their family. Like that speech when she said, I'm not going to give up my baby for this world, but I ain't going to give up this world for my baby. So I'm going to protect y'all regardless. I got y'all. And then they was like, you know what? Yeah, you got us. We got you. That was a great moment. Okay, so now let's talk about my favorite scene in the whole movie. My favorite sequence in that whole film, yo. That scene when they took a trip to Galactus. I'm getting into spoilers now in case y'all are still here and y'all don't want none. Leave. This movie, just from that sequence alone, is up there with some of the best looking MCU movies. That whole chase scene was crazy. First of all, let's talk about Silver Surfer first. Let's talk about Silver Surfer. The girl that played in Ozark, she's also in the new Weapons movie that's coming out, which I think is going to be gas. Can't remember the actress's name, but she's a great actress. Man, Shia LaBeouf, she did a great job as that character. They didn't really give her a lot to work with as Shia LaBeouf. They kind of just gave her the basic Silver Surfer story, but I mean, it did what it had to do. Every scene that she was in though, I can say she was a legit threat on screen, bro. that whole chase sequence when she was chasing them through space. There, mind you, they're running away full speed in a spaceship, and she's surfing behind them. She phases through the ship and almost takes the baby out of Sue. Like phases through the ship, then phases through Sue. It almost rips the baby out of her. I was like, yo, what are y'all gonna do about her? Y'all talk about Galactus. He has some of the best action scenes in the movie. And then when they went around the black hole and they were trying to get her sucked into it, bro, she was surfing the black hole. She was surfing the ring around the black hole. That, bro, hands down. I know the old Silver Surfer from the other Fantastic Four movie. He was cool. He had some standout moments, like when he caught the rocket through his surfboard or whatever. But man, that movie don't got nothing on that scene alone, bro. She surfed on a black hole. She surfed on lava at one point. She was a problem the whole movie, and I loved it. And speaking of villains, let's talk about Galactus too. He didn't really have a lot to do better than, because the old movies just did not do Galactus any justice. You didn't even see him. He was like a storm. I feel like he was solid in the movie. Not the most compelling villain. I mean, it was really more like I was born to do this. I have to do this to survive. Sorry, not sorry. Your planet's cooked. Like, that's really all it was. Every time he was on screen, man, I'm telling you, it was just hopeless for them boys, man. There was no chance. Like, I was watching him, I was like, I really want to see how y'all are gonna beat this dude. I don't think he was the best villain ever, but he's definitely the best that we've seen him in a Fantastic Four movie. And I think he was a legit threat whenever he was on screen, because he could just do whatever he wanted whenever, and you could do barely anything to stop him. The only thing that could even really stop him was Sue at like full power, basically killing herself to protect her family and the world. Okay, back to the Fantastic Four though. I want to talk about the characters individually and who I thought was represented the best in the movie. Let's talk about Reed Richards first. Reed Richards, I feel like Pedro Pascal did a great job as Reed Richards and kind of embodying what his character's like. The whole I think of terrible things so those terrible things don't happen was represented really well in the film. The only thing I really just did not like about Reed Richards, because how his character was represented, I feel like everything was perfect with that, but his stretch powers were actual dog shit in the movie. I'm actually bothered by it, because the old movies kind of gave you the blueprint. I know he had a lot of silly ways to use it in the old movies, but he had a lot of creative ways to use it as well. It was kind of just weird seeing him using it now just to traverse the environment. That kind of bothered me. And then, you know what really bothered me? Him almost getting stretched to death. Now, that makes no sense. Bro, if you just search Mr. Fantastic on Google, I guarantee you could find so many pictures of him stretching just way further than that, even in the old movies. So I feel like the only way around this in a future movie is just to say he hasn't really worked on his powers that much on how to improve them, and after this movie he comes back and he improves his powers and finds more ways to stretch more, make sure he can stretch more, like, if that makes sense. I don't know, but his powers were trash. He didn't really use them other than to climb and to grab stuff. Like, nah, I wasn't feeling it. But next, Johnny Storm, the MVP of this movie. Johnny Storm was the best Johnny Storm I think we've gotten on screen. Chris Evans did a really good job at kind of encapsulating the funny aspect of him, but I feel like this Johnny Storm is more of what the character should be. Yeah, he's an asshole. Yeah, he's a ladies' man. Yeah, he's funny, but he's not stupid. The old movies, I feel like he was just there. He did not feel like he was as smart to be around these people. He felt like he was just more like, oh, that's Sue's brother. But he learned Shia LaBeouf's whole language just from clips that he's heard over and over and over again, and then basically persuades her to help them, basically. And also, he's nice to Ben. He's nice to Ben Grimm. I love Ben Grimm. I love their little brotherly dynamic that they had in the movie. I feel like Johnny Storm, Joseph Quinn did an amazing job as him, and I'm excited to see him interact with more Marvel characters. Now, onto that boy Ben Grimm, The Rock himself. I feel like he was done okay in the movie. The guy that plays Richie from The Bear, don't remember that actor's name either. I really could search it on Google right now. Let me not be lazy. Ebon Moss-Bachrach. I don't know if I'm saying his name right. I've seen it before, but I've never tried to say it. That's why I didn't want to say it. But he's a great actor in everything else that I've seen him in. He was good in this role. He definitely gave off that vibe as Ben Grimm, like being a dude from the city. You could definitely hear it in his voice and how he talked and stuff. They kind of dibble-dabbled in the sad side to him not really being happy about how he looks now. You kind of just saw it from how he looked at himself, and he didn't really seem that confident other than how he dressed, because he was kind of putting that shit on throughout the whole movie, but they didn't really harp on it too much, which, I mean, I guess they don't have to, but I don't think it was just a lot of depth to his character. It was more, you know, he's there, he's Reed's right-hand man, he loves Johnny, he loves Sue. I feel like he definitely got the short end of the stick when it comes to the Fantastic Four as a whole in the movie, but I feel like he was done well. That's definitely by far the best look that he's had in any of the Fantastic Four movies. He looks straight ripped out of the comic page. Like, he looks amazing. But last but not least, Sue Storm. Sue Storm, I feel like, was kind of the heart of this movie. From her wanting to protect her baby and protecting the people that she loves in the Baxter Building and in the world. The speech that she gives to everybody outside of the building. Then what she did at the end of that movie. Now, she literally killed herself to protect her baby. She probably had no idea that she even had that type power within her, bro. She literally killed herself. It was crazy. One of my favorite scenes from the movie too was actually the interaction between her and Reed about the baby, and how he didn't really consider giving the baby to Galactus, but obviously he had to think about it. And he admitted that, yeah, I thought about it because my job is to think about things so bad things don't happen. And she's like, well, maybe that part of you hurts me.
Oh,
and I was like, yo, damn, that was kind of real. Like, my gosh, she basically said, this is the worst part about you. And I can't stand it sometimes. Sue Storm, I feel like she was represented very well. This is the most useful she's even been in any of these movies for the Fantastic Four, which I really liked. Okay, now for my negatives for the movie, which aren't really a lot, but the first thing that I want to talk about are the action scenes. Now, the action scenes were good. So they were okay. Let me say they're okay. The best one by far was the one in space. Even though they weren't necessarily fighting, it was more running away. They fought a little bit while they were running away. And then that action scene was cool, but it just really wasn't a lot of fighting in the movie. I don't really know what I was expecting. I mean, the story of the movie was really good though. So I guess it wasn't action focused. But even with that ending scene, I enjoyed it, but I was like, not really fighting. Which, I mean, I guess you can't fight Galactus. That ending fight was really just, we're trying shit and nothing's working. Everything's hitting the fan. Like, Galactus was literally walking through everything that they were trying, other than the very end. The action, I really wasn't impressed when it came to this movie. If you were going into it expecting like a Captain America Winter Soldier or like a Guardians of the Galaxy 3, you're not going to get that. And that's okay. That's clearly not what they're going for, but it's a Marvel movie. I just feel like I should say that. Also, I'm gonna say it again. Reed Richards, the stretchy man, almost got stretched to death. That happened in the movie. That still is just pissing me off thinking about it. But the last thing that really bothered me about this movie was that damn CGI baby. That CGI baby, I saved it for the last thing to talk about, bro. That CGI baby pissed me off so bad. And I don't know the exact rules, but I know there's some rules in Hollywood regarding having like newborn babies in the movie. Like, it's only like a certain amount of time you can depict them or something. So half of the shots with the baby were literally CGI, and oh my god, it's some of the worst CGI I've seen, bro. It was so bad. It was so awful. It would literally go from, oh, that's a regular baby, and then it was like, oh my god, what is that? Yo, it was a few times where I was looking at my mother and I was like, yo, like, you see that? Like, I literally laughed. I couldn't help but laugh. Even the ending scene, which really bothered me, I feel like of all the scenes to have the baby there, the actual baby, why would you not have it for the whole entire scene at the end of the movie? One of the most emotional points in the movie, Sue Storm dies and then the baby revives her. But maybe it's because the thing was holding him and the thing was all CGI, so the baby kind of had to be CGI too. I don't know, but man, I was watching it and I just couldn't take it serious. Like, I was watching it and it really just took me out of it. Like, I was locked into the ending, then that baby came up and I was like, oh my god, that poor baby. I mean, he saved his mama, but at what cost? I have to look at you. I don't know if it was just me. I might be nitpicking, but that baby was hard to look at. Not the real baby, the fake baby. But yeah, man, the Fantastic Four, I give it a solid 8 out of 10. It was a really good movie. I feel like it was a bit overhyped though. People were really saying it's like one of the best ever MCU movies. It's up there, but it's not like up there. It's not with no Winter Soldier. It's not with no Infinity War. It's more like, I feel like it's on the tier, like right under like a Guardians of the Galaxy 3. It's on tier with Thunderbolts, low key. And I might say Thunderbolts, I might enjoy that a little more than this. But this was a great Fantastic Four movie, by far the best that has come out up to here. We're not even going to talk about that one with Michael B. Jordan. Dear God, the thing didn't have any pants. But it was a really good watch. I enjoyed it. I might go watch it again, honestly. If you enjoyed it, let me know in the comments what y'all think about it. If y'all want to see the movie, tell me what you're looking forward to the most. Leave a like, comment, subscribe to the channel. If there's any other movies you want to see me talk about, I didn't even talk about Superman yet. Superman, by the way, was gas. Amazing, by the way. But if you want to see anything else, let me know down below in the comments. But I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.